Hey guys, I'm gonna draw Goku. You can pause the video and try to draw it yourself. Um, Now I'm gonna move this to create more space for the camera. Okay. The way to draw, lots of people would start from like copying the exact outline, like this, then go all the way down. You don't want to do that because you don't want to be a typist. Just type in all the letters without knowing uh, the words and understanding the sentences. So you want to start from uh, the words of drawing, which is the shapes. So you want to start with the shapes, even if it's a rough shape like this. If this goes three-dimensional, you see the tube, right? This it's sort of circle, and you cut out the circle right here. It becomes a face, and when you do that with pencil, you can sort of do all those scaffolding lines, to try to understand what's going on and what words the artist used for the drawing. But if you use the ball pen, there's something you can't erase. You need to do all the stuff in your head and try to figure out the shape, the form. If you can imagine that form, it's like this. That's the plane over here, and like that. That's the shape. So if it turns to the side a little bit more, you'll see the side. But if it's like facing directly to you, you won't be able to see much at all. Probably just very thin. And if it's facing straight to you, you won't see it. You probably just shoulder this part to show a little bit of thickness. Well, this is a good example of a different plane. So it goes, see the, the leg, then that goes to different plane, going downwards, going to the back. So you will see the shadow here. Give it a bit of shade. You see, and this plane, and you'll be if without the this part, you'll be able to see the leg, the top of the like tube, and if you can see the back, like see through, you see that too. You see the oval, which is the bottom of the tube. Let's see that. That's another. So see that you can see the bottom of the foot. Shape of the foot. It's more like more like this, right? And then you see the top if you can see through. Give it shade. So that's a shoe, and this part goes to a different plane. So the shoe goes up like that, and then but this part goes down, and this ankle like that. So let's go back to the picture. See the arm. It's also like a tube like that. If you can see through, then this part will be the hand. The hand, you can imagine it's a box, and with thumb over here, and then some fingers over here. Yes. All his 5 fingers. Usually animators are lazy. They just do a couple of fingers, that's it. And then after we figure out, okay, all the elements, like how big they are and what kind of shape, and we can go into the details and try not to do too much of the scaffolding lines, otherwise it gets really messy. The head, the hair, you don't need to do the big hair right now. You can add those later. Those are not like the main structure. Main structure is where the head is. Even you do this and you get the head wrong, if it's not on the neck, it look horrible. So let's try to get this here right and to get it on the neck. The ear, it's kind of like small element on the head, but it still has volume. You can see the ear, this part, which is if you give a bit of lines, curvy lines, it looks like this shape, right? And then the flat part underneath here, and then you have some folds, so you add those two together, it becomes the eyes are just two curves like that. That. And Goku has very small nose. And then we'll add here. Eyebrows. Oh, he has pretty big bushy eyebrows. This eye, it's little too big. It's really hard to change once you so sometimes you just have to accept that you made a mistake, and the mistake's gonna stay there. It's part of the learning. You want the neck to be a bit thicker, like that. Then shoulder, little. This goes behind this little bit of fabric, and there's something here. Is this oh, his brand. That's his Sifu. I think it's the Turtle Hermit. So shows where his origin is, to honor his master turtle. this is a little too wide still. Good thing with this is the belt is black, so later when you clean up, add some shade, you won't be able to see the lines, the mistakes. This part too, see, I haven't made mistakes, but this again, when you shade it, you can cover the mistakes. And as I said, the even you don't draw the box, you still have to think about it. That's just part of the language. So the simplified version of visual language, it's just boxes. It's like Lego, and you create big boxes with the small boxes, and to make the language a bit harder, then you start thinking round shapes. Round shapes are generally a little bit harder. And then you have, once you have more of the words, and you can think of different shapes like a donut, 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 donut shape. So you have, and cone, right? And then you think in different shapes, maybe like pyramid, stuff like that, cube, and you combine those orders together, you build on top of those, and for the character or for the landscape you are drawing, it gets really complicated once you add more and more shapes, but then you have better control of your language, and you can draw more complicated stuff. All right, let's add some shade. Eyebrows too. When you do the shading, you don't want it gets messier. You want to clean up the lines. I like how Japanese comics, they use more of the outlines to hint about the volume. rather than the others like shades and muscles, all the different shape of the muscles and volume of the muscles. I guess that's part of the reason that Japanese is succeeding in the comics world, because it's cheaper to draw outlines than volumes. So if you can hint about the muscles, nobody think, okay, Goku has no volume, has no muscles. Everyone can see Goku is pretty jacked, but he doesn't show all the muscles. He hides the muscles under the clothing, which is cheaper to draw. That's about it. Somewhere here. Yeah, there's a bit more shade under the chin, but I'm just gonna leave it like that. Maybe a little bit more. Like that. Thanks for watching.